Hey everyone, so I've had a few more cases come through from my AliExpress purchases, so I thought I'd just post a quick video showing which ones I've had through and basically just give you some details. So for size comparison, I've got the case that I actually use with my 11 Pro Max here. So this is my everyday case, daily driver if you like, and basically this will give you a good idea in terms of these particular cases, how they actually stack up against that one. So being the impatient kind of person that I am, I messed up and I've actually ordered this particular case twice, and even though this is from two different sellers supposedly, if you look at the codes and everything on here, you can see it's exactly the same. So two different sellers have actually sent out the same case to me essentially. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly get this open. These are actually my favorite type of cases, and the reason for that is basically it's the thinnest case that you could possibly get. So this is essentially just the very thinnest plastic material, but what this does do is it gives you a good idea in terms of how the feel of the iPhone 12 is actually going to be. Now if we put them side by side, as you can see, there's virtually no difference between this case and my daily driver in terms of the 11 Pro Max, and the main reason for that is because this is so thin, it makes up for that slight difference in terms of dimensions. So if we take a look at it there, as you can see, this is obviously going to fit in, and what will happen is all of these edges will kind of fold over the iPhone 12, and basically what end up happening is this will almost wrap around the phone and it'll be really tight. The one downside about these particular cases, and we can see from this one that it will probably end up with the same situation with this one, is sometimes when they're that tight and they're that closely produced that it's quite difficult to get these off without bending some of these areas here. So when you actually peel it, take it off, a lot of the times all of these kind of weak points tend to flex, and for that reason basically they end up a little flimsy in terms of you get a little bit where it's sticking out and it's not quite the shape and the smoothness that you currently have as it is here. But this, as I say, should give you an idea. This one is exactly the same, so I won't bother opening that one. This particular one is basically the same thing, just in a sort of grey colour. A lot of the times what used to happen with these particular types of cases, because basically I've had these cases on for pretty much every iPhone I've ever had, so I've always loved this thin, really thin, literally just scratch resistance for the iPhone, because that's generally all I wanted. I was never really that bothered about drop performance, because I never drop my phones. The one thing that you will notice about these particular cases is you'll see loads of copies of these. You'll see them on Amazon, you'll see people posting videos about them, and basically it'll be companies in the UK, the US, and what they'll do is they'll buy these particular cases. Some won't even put any branding on them, some will literally just put a little logo there, and these particular cases, even though they've cost me probably, I would say, bearing in mind that I've ordered these really early, if you do wait and you order these once a phone's released, generally you're going to be paying maximum £2 or $2 for it. I've seen these same cases, in particular the darker ones, so anything that's grey or black, I've seen these particular cases sell for upwards of £20, sometimes even reaching £30, so basically equivalent of like $30 say. That is an extortionate amount for what this is. This is literally just cheap and cheerful, and it's the thinnest possible case that you can get, while still offering some sort of scratch resistance for your phone. This particular one's generally the one that I tend to use most because it's as see-through as possible. This one is actually a lot lighter than you used to get in previous years. Previously, whenever you went for the black or the grey, it would be slightly darker than this, so the original colour wouldn't quite shine through as much. Both of these will show the Apple logo quite clearly, but obviously this one on the right is going to show the colour more, with the, I believe it's the Pacific Blue in the Pro Max. I'm not sure how much of that colour you'll be able to see because it's not the most vivid colour out there. However, I'm hoping that it's enough to where you can actually distinguish between that and the black. Because as with last year, with this 11 Pro Max that I'm actually recording on, in most lights, this actually looks the same as the black or the grey model that they actually released last year. It's only in certain lighting conditions that you actually notice that this one that I'm recording on is actually green, as opposed to being the black or the grey. Right, so that's those two. So these are probably cases that I am going to end up using quite a bit. This particular case I'm actually quite disappointed about, and the reason for that is because I'll show it from this side first. So this case is, I've had similar cases to this, and I actually ran a very similar case like this on my 11 Pro Max for quite a while. And the main reason for that is it's got really, really nice feel to it. So it's got this kind of soft touch coating to the plastic. So it's not so much on the inside, but on the outside it feels like there was a cheap Android phone many years ago. And basically they coated the whole phone in this, and it just feels soft and warm. And this is what I'm actually disappointed about, the fact that I didn't actually look at the advert properly. When I ordered all of these, I was literally just ordering anything that I could find for the 12 Pro Max, and I didn't really notice that this comes with a load of bloody graffiti all over it. I wouldn't have minded this if this actually made any sense whatsoever. So frown at it and it frowns at you. Smile and it smiles too. The world is like a mirror. I don't even know where to start with that. So I'll let you guys post about that in the comments below. But yeah, this case is actually really, really nice. The feel of it, I can tell by the thickness of this particular case that this is going to be very similar to these, whilst giving you slightly more grip, because that's the one downside about these particular cases. These work well on squared off phones because it wraps around so tightly that the bits that kind of dig into your hands do offer quite a bit of grip. However, this one is even grippier. So the material on it just means that it's basically, if you look at this, as you can see, that's going to slide about quite a bit. And this will also scratch up quite a bit as well. Whereas this, it's gripping the material. And if it's anything like the last one that I had, it's going to be quite scratch resistant as well. So obviously if you intentionally try and scratch it, it will scratch. I'm hoping that this actually comes off. I'm hoping that I can actually scratch this off and get rid of this text, but it does look like it's actually etched in because it's got quite a tactile kind of feel to it. In terms of your buttons, also that's another thing where basically it's those ones where you've got half the button cut out, so it means that it's going to give you quite decent tactile feel when you actually press the buttons. It's a bit better than these, where these are just completely open, but the idea behind these is if this does fit in the same way as the 5s and the 5Ss and all of those cases, what actually happens is it fits almost flush, and basically once you've got the case on, the button will literally just be level with this. Your camera bumps will be protected, so obviously you've got lens protection there. Overall, this is the kind of case that I would basically put on my phone if I was to use a case, especially around the house. That's probably the case that I would use. At work, I've ordered one of these cases as well. It's not quite come yet for the 12 Pro Max, but I'll probably be rocking something very similar to this. This case, unfortunately, I'll test it out once the phone does actually arrive, once it's released and I've ordered it, and whatever happens with pre-order, once the phone arrives, I'll test it out. But yeah, I'm not so happy about all of the weird sort of writing. It wouldn't have been so bad if any of this actually made any sense. Enjoy life. What is that about? So yeah, bit disappointed with that side of things, but the case itself, it looks pretty much bang on in terms of your cutouts and everything. So in terms of dimensions and everything like that, as you can see, the cutouts are in exactly the same position. and obviously with it having these sort of half button presses, it's probably gonna be a lot, well, be very tactile in terms of your button clicks and everything like that. So yeah, that's that one. So these are just the newest three that I've had through. Obviously the original ones I did post in my original video. The one that came without the cutout for the LiDAR sensor, I've already been refunded that from AliExpress. So that's the one good thing, where even if you order before a product's been released and it doesn't quite turn out to be right, then you can just open a case and get your money back. That case is pretty much useless. If there's anybody out there that's interested in it, I'll probably just do a giveaway and just send it to one of the viewers or something. But obviously it's not really much use to anybody out there, because if you do have the Pro Max, you're going to want to make use of that LiDAR sensor. But yeah, this was just a quick look in terms of a couple of cases that I've had through. Some of the other cases that I've actually ordered are a lot more premium. So I've also ordered some silicone cases, which are supposed to be one-for-one replicas of the Apple silicone cases, with the caveat that I don't think that they're going to have the MagSafe built into them. I very much doubt that will be the case. It's not mentioned anywhere on the advert, so I'm not expecting it to actually have that. I've also ordered a full glass, very similar to this. So you've got a TPU bumper with an actual glass back. I've never actually used one of those before, so it'll be interesting to see how that actually turns out. And what I've also ordered is for the screen protectors, I've actually found a few where they're completely clear, and that basically gives you the benefit where the screen protector I've actually got on my current phone, it has the little, it's a very thin border, so around the very edge it's got a little thin black strip. But the problem with that is, if you don't line that up quite perfect, it still obstructs the screen ever so slightly. So hopefully with that particular screen protector, even if you get it slightly off-centered, it'll still give you full view of your screen essentially. Other than that, I do have quite a few cases and accessories still coming, both for iPhone 12 as well as the Apple Watch. So basically just stay tuned for those. I'll post a video as soon as they arrive with links to anything that I do actually like. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon. That way you're notified whenever any of my videos go live.